Ta imagine ukabanga rugendo kuma muciĩ munene wa Nairobi o nginya Mombasa, na handu ha kwikora ugikinya stage ya kuria urathie ugekora gitanda-ini kia thibitari, na wethukia wega ukaigua mwiri waku ni muhutangie. Werora o kwirora wega ugakora nguo iria winacio ticio wekirire ukianjiriria thabari. Uu niguo kuhanikite kwi muiritu witagwo Delilah kana Adelle, no uu niguo atariirie uria ehariirie kuma muciĩ wa Nairobi nginya muciĩ wa Mombasa, na handu ha gwikora stage iria athiaga agekora thibitari riria areigua. Adelle nigetha athie muciĩ munene wa Mombasa athire stage-ini kana kugata tigiti wa Mash Poa, na kuu nikuo oneire uriru handu ha kugia na thabari njega. Thabari yake yatuikire ya maithori. Angikorwo ni muthenya waku wa mbere kugwatanira na wega wa Gwitu TV, thie hau button-ini ya subscribe na wigue wi muciĩ, usubscribe, ushare na ulike, na hindi ciothe turirehaga tabarira ni urionaga notification ni gukorwo ni subscribe-ite. Thie na mbere gututhikiriria. Njitagwo waku DJ Dan Rose. Hihi ni wikarite thi? Tondu angikorwo ni urugamite, ndeto ici ni cikukumakia o nginya utuike wa kugwa thi. Caria gati uthikiririe na wigue bururi ni ucenjetie na andu ni matuikite nyamu, handu ha kurangira aria angi nio matuikite a kuria andu aria angi ta nyamu.
My official name is Delilah Omondi, but everyone knows me as Adelle Omondi. So I booked a bus heading to Mombasa on 14th. I booked online, then picked my receipt. Ilikuwa basi ya 9:45 p.m. I picked my receipt when I came to Mash, when we boarded. Then I sat on my seat number 37. Then after I sat on my seat, the gentleman that eventually sat on seat number 38 was moving around from one seat to another. He was sitting on one seat, alafu wenye hizo seat wakikuja anatoka anaenda seat ingine. So eventually he sat on seat number 40, which was on the driver side back bench. And then when wenye hizo viti walipokuja, he stood and then came to where I was. I had placed my bag on the seat number 38. So akaniambia nitoe bag. Then I asked him, you are all over the place. Where are you supposed to be sitting? And then he said, ndio kiti yangu. So I removed my bag and then I sat. And then he sat and then I put on headphones and started watching Netflix. We continued with the journey. A few times he kept trying to talk to me and I kept ignoring him. When we got to Mtitoande, he got off the bus. I remained in the bus because normally when I travel, unless I need to use the toilet, I do not leave the bus. So he left, and then as the bus was almost leaving, I could see him outside na vikombe viwili akipoesha chai. So akapoesha chai, and then he entered as the bus started moving. So alipofika karibu na pale nimeketi, mikono yake ilikuwa ina shake. So as it was shaking, he was pouring the tea on me, on my hands. Then he asked me, nimshikie ndio aweze kuketi. I held the cups, he sat down, and then when I wanted to hand them back, kaniambia ngojea kidogo, sijui nichukue, sijui bag, sijui nifanye nini, sijui niweke tablet. Then he took a bit longer. So nikachukua tu hizo vikombe nikamwekea hapo karibu na yeye. And then after that I turned to look at the window, and that was it. The next time I woke up on Wednesday at Coast General. I woke up, found 3 of my friends in hospital with me, and that's when they explained to me that I had been drugged. They told me that I had been taken first to Central Police Station by the conductor for Mash and a tuk-tuk driver. They got an OB, and that OB is what they used to bring me to Coast General. And then now they started calling a couple of people, and eventually they called several of my family members, and then my family members led them to a friend of mine, a friend of a family who stays in Mombasa, called Wesley. So now Wesley is the one who was told to come to Coast General, and something had happened to me. That's what he was told. So when he got there, they did a handover and just left. But before they did the handover, the conductor asked Wesley for 1,000 shillings, and the tuk-tuk driver also asked for 1,000 shillings. But Wesley akawambia haezi wapatia pesa until he makes sure nimeshughulikiwa kwanza. He will send them money a bit later. So, when I wasn't discharged. When we wanted to get discharged, wakasema there's not really a discharge that's going to happen because I hadn't been admitted per se. Hakukuwa na admission imefanywa, so there was no need for a discharge. So my neighbor, who's also a very good friend of mine, insisted that we cannot leave the hospital until we have a document that shows that I was in Coast General and that something had happened to me, because I'll insist that that is what is needed to file, to follow up with the case at the police station. One of the nurses pulled my friend on the side, akaanza kumwambia, ambia tu rafiki yako achane na hii story, because this is something that happens sana na hizi buses za huku Mash, Tahmid and Dreamline. The nurse mentioned those 3 buses na akasema, but nothing ever happens, juu hata mtu akifuatilia huwa anapelekwa hivi, and then it just goes off. So the point that I noticed, the point that I now started feeling that I feel like something more might have happened to me other than the dragging, is when I got home, and upon checking, because when I woke up nilijipata na nguo zenye sio zangu, and then my clothes had been folded and kept in a Uhuru bag. So now when I was checking my clothes, I realized my underwear was not there. So now I started trying to find out, like, okay, where is my underwear? Who has my underwear? And so now I started trying to follow up with my friends, like, Mulini, did you find me with an underwear? Was I with an underwear? Because I know I wore an underwear and a panty liner. So for me, having an underwear and a panty liner and then not having it, and then having the rest of my clothes there, and then that is the iyo na socks ndio zina miss na viatu, did not make a lot of sense to me. So now I started asking them, Nikiwa Coast General, what did they do? Did they do a swab? Did they do a rape kit test? Did they do anything that would suggest that proper care for rape, for exposure has been done? Then I found out, first of all, hakuna sikupelekwa GVRC center, sikufanyiwa a rape kit test, and now I wasn't given anything in regards to like PEP or something that would have helped me. I believe I am giving you this detail so that I can be safe, so that if something happens to me and I come to and people come to Mash and ask, what happened to Adelle? They'll be, oh yeah, this happened. But if I'm not getting that cooperation, if I'm not getting that, sasa unashanga, who is going to give you the justice? Who is going to assist you? Are they collaborators? Are they conspiring with these people? Do they know that person? Those are the things that are going through my mind. I'm like, or is it them that actually, is it them that actually hire people to come and do things like this? Because my inbox is full of, hey, usinyamaze hata mimi walinifanyia. And people are even dating from as early as 2023, 2024, 2025. Someone even told me on my post, this is the 3rd case this week. Hii wiki tu. Even the way that slip was written, you cannot even tell what drug was there. The only thing I can say they did ni kunieka drip. Hii ndio mark yangu ya drip. The only thing you can say is they put a drip on me. No other drug in the system. Drip. Just for me to wake up. I was even being told at some point nilipewa maziwa nikatapika damu. Kama nilitapika damu, what is it that made me tapika damu? What kind of test did they do to establish that alitapika hii damu because of 1, 2, 3. Because one of the most common drugs I know that is used, everyone knows dragon's breath. It can either be mtu anaweza kukuongelesha, mtu anaweza eka kwa kitu, or it can be in the food, you know. I just want answers. Mimi answers too, and justice. So that something like this does not happen. It has happened to people before. It has happened to me. Something like this does not happen to anyone else, ever. So that bus companies can be very vigilant. Because we are trusting you with our money to get us wherever we are going safely. I lost 2 phones. And then I lost a total of 56,000 because there was cash in my purse. And there was cash in my purse and there was money on my M-Pesa. But coincidentally, when my purse was given out to Wesley, ilipeanwa na 2,500. So I'm like, okay, did Mash steal? Now, you know, sasa kuna maswali because did Mash steal the rest or did my seatmate steal alafu akasema wacha nimwachie hii affair? It's not making sense.
How much was in the purse?
Because in my phone I had 42,000 and in my purse I had about, to make it 56, I had about 14. Yeah. Nikabaki na 2,000. He was dressed in a kofia. Alikuwa na kofia ya black. He had worn a bomber jacket. He had a black t-shirt. And he had jeans and he had sport shoes that alikuwa na come to mtu amejiweka vizuri. He did not look like a funny person. He did not look, tuseme alikuwa amepiga luku, let's just say that, because he looks like a well-dressed person and then he has a beard that's black and with hints of gray. Na alikuwa he had worn specs. Yeah. I do want Mash to release that CCTV footage because you see now Mash are trying to make it seem like mini chizi flani sijui Kenya nasema. I want them to release that, even if they are not going to release the footage at Mtito, because at Sparkle Center ndio pale Mash wanakuanga na office na their restaurant, and that's because I have been there too many times. Sparkle Center is where I do not know if they have CCTV within Sparkle Center, but because this person had cups of tea, see, obviously kuna hapo, kwa hiyo if there's CCTV hapo pale alipewa chai, there has to be a footage of him carrying cups. Yeah. Conductor has not talked to me. Conductor refused to give his name. Conductor refused to give his number. Lakini ni mtu namjua manake. I have used Mash enough times, so I know how he looks. I know, I'll be like, ndio ule. I know that conductor. But he refused to give his name to Wesley. He refused to give his number. So the only other point of contact that I had was the tuk-tuk person, the tuk-tuk guy. He's anaitwa Paul Kibe. But I've followed up with them on calls that remained unanswered. Yeah. My friends have, even my friend who mwenye tumekuja naye called several times, even went to Twitter asking, give us, anyone who knows contacts za Mash tafadhali tusaidie. And all those numbers are going unanswered. Even my friends are saying, the numbers are going unanswered. Hazishikwi. Na hizo zenye hazishikwi, they're off. So
no, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate what happened. We are a very highly disciplined company as far as we are concerned, right? And we don't anticipate such a things to happen in such a very good, reputable company like Mash East Africa. So we regret the incident if it really happens. But to us, it is an allegation.
So now I started again trying to find out, like, okay, what happened? How can I get help? How can I get a file? How can I get assistance? And at some point, I tried to follow up with Coast General mara nyingi. It didn't work out. So now I decided to go back to Mash because the only person I came in contact with the entire time was this man. So I tried calling Mash to ask for the details of this man. Nikaanza kuzungushwa. Nikaanza kuzungushwa. First nikaambiwa ngojea kidogo tunakupigia, and then after some time they stopped picking up my call. On 17th I met up with Wesley. He gave me my pouch that had my ID, and the medical forms, they're in my bag. The medical forms and the receipt and the things that he had been given by Mash Poa. So he gave them to me, and then I immediately went to Central with the OB. So when I got to Central, I talked to a lady, a nice officer. Akaniambia, so akaniambia ti, oh, ni wewe ndo ulikuwa umeletwa nini nini, and then she was like, yeah, she kind of made it seem like, oh, nakukumbuka because kesi yako ililetwa hapa. So she told me, nataka utoke hapa uende kwa DCIO saizi kule Urban and talk to the DCIO, tell him what happened and you're going to get help. Akaniambia, enda tu sahi, do not even waste time. So nikatoka nikaenda. When I got to the DCIO, I explained everything that happened. The DCIO told me someone was going to follow up with me. Alafu akaniambia there's a lady that was going to call me in regards to when I can come in to do another statement. And then I decided again to try and call Mash just to find out, like, when I was removed from the bus, was I naked? Did I have clothes? Yeah, just trying to find out, because again, my underwear is missing. Something that I know I had on plus a panty line. I just want to find out exactly what happened. So I really tried. And even my friend Wesley had really tried kufuatilia with Mash, and they were so elusive. Even the lady officer told me that walikuwa memwambia that seat number 38, who was my seatmate, had not registered. So they didn't have any of his details on file. So she told me that, itabidi tungoje mpaka Tuesday. Waiting until Tuesday after a situation of where you think you have been raped does not make sense. It is long holiday naelewa, it's Easter, family time, but waiting until Tuesday did not make sense to me. So I just wanted answers. Woke up yesterday, went to my social media and just started asking and trying to get my friends who have more social standing on social media just to find out ni nini ilifanyika, what happened, nipeeni two answers, tell me who sat in seat number 38, because that is the only person who I had any form of contact with until the time nililala nilidragiwa, that huyo ndio the only person. So that will be the first suspect, that will be the one suspect that I would try and follow up with. I renewed my lines, went to Safaricom to get a statement. Nikapata money had been withdrawn. First 1,000 had been withdrawn from an M-Pesa that coincidentally iko karibu na Mash, iko karibu na ofisi za Mash. And then again nikapata money had been sent. The rest of the money that I had been sent to someone by the name Ramadan Mangale. But Safaricom told me they cannot give me the full statement. But when I gave them the OB number, they told me using that OB number, they can now release the full statement, and they'll give it later on to the policemen who will come and follow up. Me, I'm stressed out. I just want to know what happened. Like, ni nini lifanyika? Why is Mash telling people that they don't have records of this person? Why is Mash again telling someone that, because conductor at some point aliambia he told someone that this person was my boyfriend. That was not my boyfriend. Why is Mash giving one story? Why are you telling the cops you don't have these details? Again, why are you saying this person is my boyfriend? Mbona mnapeana details zenye ni incomplete?
I remember the bus left Nairobi on 14th of April 2025 at 9:45 p.m. The lady arrived here. He was in jeans and a t-shirt, and she was somehow dizzy. We suspected she could have been drugged, maybe. So the procedure of the company, we tried to ask the conductor what could have happened. The conductor told us he noticed that the passenger was dizzy, and it was our entire responsibility to take this passenger first to the nearest police station, which was Central. And we booked her on an OB, which we have the copy of the OB with us, dated 15th of April 2025. The lead passenger was then taken to Coast General Hospital by my conductor, and she was attended, all right, and maybe discharged. From that particular time or date, we haven't seen her.
Ndikwendaga kwaria mbica-inĩ ĩno nigetha wĩiguĩre wega ũrĩa Adelle atonganire na mũtino wake, mũtino atabangĩte, mũtino ekorire maumĩrĩra mayo mamũtwarĩte thibitarĩ. Ngwendaga wĩiguĩre nigetha rĩrĩa ũkuoya mbathi kana ũkuoya thabarĩ ũkerora mũno na ũkarora ũcio mũikarainie ndakae kũgũcũngĩrĩria handũ ha gũkinya kũrĩa ũgũthiaga gwĩkenera kana mĩbango ya wĩra wĩkore wĩ thibitarĩ. O nginya mũthenya ũngĩ, njĩtagwo waku DJ Danrose. Thiĩ na mbere kũgwatanĩra na ithuĩ, nĩ tũkinyĩte handũ ha subscribers njega, no nĩ tũratanya gũkorwo na subscribers aingĩ o nginya 100. Tuĩka ũmwe mwemba witũ na nigetha ũtũteithĩrĩrie na subscribe yaku nigetha tũkinye ikinya rĩu rĩngĩ. Gĩa na kĩrathimo.